Where is a systemic issue? Where is a law that's in the system? Where's a policy that's in the system of systemic racism in our country?
I don't want to talk anymore.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Abort as many babies as possible because the world's too populated.
What? Wow.
Wow.
If I have an abortion, what does that do to your life?
I'm pro first trimester abortions. If I believe that a life begins after the first trimester, well, that's where I draw the line of saying the fetus now becomes a baby with human rights, then I would have an issue with that.
But human rights would overpower her human rights?
I would say there are two sets of human rights that we have to try and balance.
I know where I draw the line, but that doesn't matter.
Where would you draw the line?
I would decide fairly early on, and I know for certain that I won't be able to support a child. Universal health rights. That costs so much money.
You want to have as much as possible, but then I say if I get pregnant, I can kill the baby. That's really dark.
It's not killing the baby.
What? Killing what?
It's a clump of cells.
You're a clump of cells. I'm a clump of cells. We're all clumps of cells.
My body, my choice is so ironic. What about the baby's choice?
That's exactly right. I'm a clump of cells. Why can't you kill me? I ask this to students all the time on campuses, and they find it shocking for me to ask them why they can't kill me. And then we actually begin to have a real discussion about the discriminatory nature of abortion.
My family fought to save their farm under this flag. Who was working that farm?
My
family was. Who was working the farm? They were poor. Do you know how much a slave cost back then?
He ain't lying.
Facts. As per the 1860 census, only 1.4% of Americans owned slaves, and 7.6% of American families had slaves. Only the rich were really able to afford them, as they cost around $30,000 to $45,000 in today's money. And then you'd also have to house and feed them, so it wasn't exactly affordable.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to get a tattoo?
I'm gonna say no.
Probably not. No.
It's probably too young to make decisions.
It's a pretty permanent decision.
They can't make the decision for themselves yet. Something permanent on their body.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes.
Yes.
And I understand how that sounds really hypocritical.
Yes, it's a permanent change on their body, but I think that at that point in their life, they probably know who they are, who they want to be.
And you think so at 12 years old?
Yes.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes, because that's not a permanent decision.
That's a life-changing decision. I don't think that any 12-year-old is in a position to make a decision that's going to affect them long term.
When you get puberty blockers, for a lot of kids that's like life-saving, is keeping them from having to go through a puberty. I think puberty blockers are a great sort of like middle ground to allow a child to better understand themselves without having to make decisions like surgery or doing nothing and having to live through a puberty that is not within.
Damn. He don't got a clue in the fucking world.
I think there's plenty of time to make those decisions later on once they've had a chance to decide exactly what they want their identity to be.
I think that maybe there should be more waiting, but I don't want to like put down trans ideas, so.
But ma'am, don't assume my gender. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't assume your gender. What are your pronouns then?
They and Z and princess.
Princess? Damn.
I hate men as a whole. I hate men as a whole. As a victim of the whole thing.
Why? Yeah.
I've been through it all. I've been assaulted. I've been through it all with men. I hate them all. I don't want to be touched.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. None of those things should ever happen.
Men should keep their hands to themselves and never lay a finger on a female.
I think where you and I might find common ground is that consent is necessary.
Yep.
Right? It's important we get clear on the definition of, I would say, non-consensual sex. Would you agree we'd find common ground on that? And that is clearly immoral and illegal, right?
No means no.
No shit.
Everybody looks at how a person looks like and says, oh, they're a woman or male based off of that. Like the word that maps, or the definition that maps most onto reality, onto our day-to-day usage, is appearance-based.
If you grow an afro and wear a wig and put, a lot of black makeup on, you're not a black woman, So your appearance doesn't actually mean anything. You're not black. And the same way that I'm not white. So how we If you can trick someone, you might be able to trick me. I think Richard Dolezal did a really good job tricking people into believing that she was black for a long time by darkening her skin, getting super tan, and wearing fake wigs, but she wasn't actually a black woman. So how you feel on the inside and how you present, you might be able to trick people, but that makes you a liar, not a woman.
Bigot, you can go.
Oh, what makes me a bigot, ma'am? Or sir? I'm not sure. I didn't misgender you, did I?
Oh, please, go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's not very ladylike.
Oh, now you're fucking misgendering me. Ladylike.
Oh, well, what are you exactly?
None of your fucking business. What are you?
But you said I misgendered you. If I don't know what you are, how can I not misgender you?
You can be racist against certain groups. And yes, you might be a sellout. You might be whatever.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that I know that if I don't agree with you, I'm a sellout and I'm not good enough for my Latinos and I'm not good enough for my father, for my grandfather that escaped Cuba. Thank you.
He got his ass cooked.
Do you not think it's a bigger issue that women are being raped than men that are being falsely accused?
I think they're both big issues.
Rape itself shouldn't even be anything, like rape shouldn't even exist in itself, let alone...
I agree.
I just think that even asking this is just offensive in itself. Do you feel like even asking these questions could be a little bit degrading to any woman that has been raped and has not been believed?
I don't think it's degrading, no.
What if I had been raped and I wasn't believed, and now you're telling me that what you're saying?
Yeah,
you don't think that would be offensive?
What do you think I'm saying exactly? I think that we are losing the ability to ask the questions because people say my feelings are hurt or I feel offended. That's not enough reason to not have the conversation. But I think we should try and have the conversations respectfully.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're so passionate about it. Like, are you worried about false accusations being made about you?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
I think every man should be reasonably concerned.
Getting R-worded and being falsely accused both destroy lives, so I don't see why one matters more than the other.
It was the night before Christmas and no one could afford a house. Some people were blaming a fellow named Klaus. The Prime Minister said he would have people's backs, but it turned out his real plan was to triple the tax. The holidays are here, there's a gift shopping tradition, but things are more expensive thanks to the costly coalition. So instead, just rest, stay home, take a nap, try to forget about the ArriveCan app. If you hear the sound of a reindeer's hoof, then it's Santa, not Stephen, up on the roof. Santa reaches down inside of his sack. He knows what the people want is to have their freedoms back. But if you hear the sound of a convoy truck, then the message for liberals is end the mandates. Jesus was born with a hope to save every sinner, even the ones who attend the press gallery dinner. At Christmas, we celebrate the joy that we find and proclaim peace and love to all people kind. This might not be as good as Cuzner's last riff. I just hope it won't get me shot by Jorno Dale Smith. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Inflation is the worst. The Conservatives have a leader who will put the people first.
If a man can impregnate multiple women a day, why would women consider themselves the creators of life?
I guess because in the end, they're the only ones who can bring about life.
Well, a man can repopulate an island full of women. Can a woman repopulate an island full of men?
No.
So don't men create more life?
They do.
Got him. We f***ing got him.
Another tweet that said, the Democratic Party is comprised of racist white liberals.
That is correct.
Am I a racist white liberal?
Well, let's go back. And let's say, I will say this, that many people in the party are not aware of their own racism. Let's go back to an early part of this conversation where you said to me, are you concerned about the color in the White House? Why would you ask me that question?
Why?
Question.
Because you speak about black issues.
No, but
and
why would you ask me? But let's
it.
get to really the nucleus of this. Why did you ask me that question today?
Because
why did you feel that I
in your
needed to be
perspective.
concerned about that?
Because you're bringing a whole group of young African American leaders to the White House.
Okay, so this is something that I talk about often, is that in many ways white liberals don't realize that you put on that the racism and the conversations that we have.
So you're saying I'm a racist.
You haven't let me finish my statement. You keep cutting me off.
Go ahead.
Okay? The emphasis that you place is always on having a discussion about race. Okay? You guys are insistent on having a conversation about race and telling us that we should see and implying that we should see race everywhere, and I don't agree with that. If you don't look at me according to the color of my skin, you would simply ask me how I thought that Trump was doing as a president. But instead, you try to drum up a conversation that's surrounded by race.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true.
That's pretty true. I mean, that's true.
How do we even know that this is a girl, by the way, Barbie?
That's a very good point.
Is she identifying as a woman or not?
And this is
Or is she identifying as gender fluid? In which case, she might be, on this particular day, a man. She might be identifying as a man. And actually, I'm offended on his behalf that you may not have realised Barbie is now gender fluid, and actually, despite looking like a girl, actually is a man today. So actually, you've caused me grave offence.
Fair enough.
And this is the point, Piers, this is the point, is that feminists have got so much more to worry about.
They haven't. Honestly, they haven't.
Would you give up your college spot for a person of color?
Yeah.
Sure. Should a white person voluntarily give up their college spot for you? Skin color shouldn't matter to begin with.
No.
No. The logic behind affirmative action is that it brings other people's experiences to the college.
It's nothing to do with race. Whoever student is the best student should get their application. You know, they should get accepted.
And that's a fact.
Why? Hey, ho ho! Why? Donald Trump has got to go! Why? Hey, ho ho! Donald Trump has got to go!
Why?
Hey,
Why?
Ho ho! Donald Trump has got to go!
Why?
Hey,
Why?
Ho ho!
Stop it. Get some help.
Donald Trump has
That's not an argument.
Hey,
That's not an argument.
Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! Donald Trump has not to take your race.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Their IQ is very low.
That one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it.
Should Donald Trump be impeached?
Yes.
Should be impeached.
Most definitely.
Why do you think that?
He's just a complete idiot.
But being an idiot isn't an impeachable offense by the Constitution.
No, but you know, the other things that he has done that are impeachable,
like
shit. Now I'm blanking. Help me out here. His impeachable offenses, because like, yeah.
He don't got a clue in the fucking world.
Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out and consider subscribing if you enjoy this kind of content. Until next time.
See you, chump.